Okay.
All right, everyone. We're truly so excited. Just a minute. All right, we're so excited to have you here. This is going to be an amazing workshop. We have quite a lot in store for you for this next 3 days. And kicking off today, we're so excited to have, I believe more people are actually going to join in, but we didn't want to take more time than usual. This is going to be one empowerment meeting that I believe is going to be life transforming. And so for today's day one, we're going to start right away. Thank you for everyone that actually, put in their details on the chat room. We're really so excited that you are here. I can see Ajara from Kaduna, Chineye from Anambra State. We're going to call more people. So thank you for joining in. Okay, Chineye, I can see Nana from Kaduna, Miriam Sambo Abdullahi Kaduna. Thank you for joining. Hajara from Kaduna, thank you. More people are actually going to join in. So at this moment, without wasting more time, any of your time further, I make welcome our presenter for today. He is Mr. Henry Godwin. Mr. Henry Godwin is a professional accountant, one of the top business advisory person that I know that we have within the country. So he's going to be taking you in this very first presentation, which is titled, before and after you start your business. So ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome no other person but Mr. Henry Godwin.
Hello, thank you so very much, Dr. Charles Iromoseli. Hello, good afternoon, ladies
Yeah,
in
I
the
can hear you.
house. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear me? You can
Yes.
unmute and say something.
Yeah, I'm
Hello,
hearing
can
you.
you?
I'm
Okay,
hearing you.
thank you. Thank you. Who else is hearing me?
I can hear you, Hajara.
Thank you, Hajara.
Yes, Anna, can hear you.
Thank you. I can hear you, sir.
I have something. Okay, it's all right. So let's just go in. Firstly, I'd like to apologize that we're starting exactly 16 minutes after the article glitch issue, but thank God we've been able to resolve it. I'm sorry once more. Okay, so a 3-day series that we're having, and it's before and after you start a business. So this is day one. We'll try as much as possible that we're able to do the things you want to do. Okay, as earlier announced, I'm a professional accountant and I do business advisory. So I feel that there are into business or already in business, but because of one or two things that they may not know, are not exposed to, they have not been a business for those who are already in business or to even start. So the idea of this training, the 3 days training, is to connect with all of those people and help provide professional advice, guidance, and show you. Question: when is the best time to start a business? So I'm going to like to hear from you. When do you think is the best time for someone to start a business? You can unmute and let's have your views. Hello, did you hear what I said? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, when do you think is the best time to start a business?
I think the best time to start business is when the idea comes. As soon
Okay.
as the idea comes.
Lovely. As soon as the idea comes, you should start a business. Thank you for your view. Would like to hear more views.
Okay. Hello.
Hello, please go ahead.
I think the best time to start a business is when you identify a problem.
Okay.
So, and you
Okay.
feel you can solve that problem.
Yes.
That is when you
Wow.
can start a business.
Wow, that's beautiful. The first speaker said when you have an idea, you are saying when a problem has been identified. So you are saying for identifying that problem, be also the problem solver. That's really, really nice. Who else wants to help us? Hello? 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 We've had only 2 people speak up. Okay, can you still hear me? Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this is what I think. You know, it gets to a point where some people just give up, say, what's the use? What they are saying is, maybe I'm already too old, right? It will no longer matter. For example, somebody who didn't get the opportunity was young, at the age of 15, 17, 20, 25, couldn't school. The person is now 65, is now 70, and the person has the ability not to only go to school, the person can buy a university, but the person is saying that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that this is not what I want to really address. On the one hand, right? That you don't do that about the thing that is inside of you, that thing that you want to do. That idea has come to you because there is something in you that should address that issue. So is it when you are 45 or when you are 30 or when you are 25? Is it when you're 20? Is it when you are 65? This is my simple answer. The best time to start a business, right, is before you will need the business to support you. Let me say it again. Before you will need the business to support you. And I'm saying it from a strictly business point of view. When you start a business, basically, you want the business to be able to make profit, right? You want the business to be able to stand on its own, right? But if you already have many issues, for example, many issues that you can't take care of, when you go and start business, in accounting, there's what they call drawings. You start a business, the business is just 2 weeks old, you are beginning to take money out of the business. What do you think will happen? The business will fail because you have not allowed the business to grow. It's like planting a seed of corn, right? When you plant the seed of corn, you should expect that in about 3 months or 3.5 months, you should have a maize. You have maize on a cob that you can roast or boil. But after planting it, 3 days you come, you move it from there. You say, no, this soil maybe is not too good. You take it to another soil and plant. When you keep doing that, that seed will die. When you do not yet need the business to, that's when you should start a business, not when you're already retired. When you're at work, your salary will support you. If you start your business 5 years before you retire, 10 years before you retire, and you loosely monitor it because you work full time, chances are that business will do well. If you have support already and you start, I want to make here, will agree with me. So someone talks about when you have an idea. Yes, when it comes to business, and we are saying the idea must be very strong. That if it is not strong, the very first challenge you meet will knock you off balance. It may be at the point of registration. It may be at the point of looking for a shop for the business. And some agents will just decide no longer going ahead with it. You must have Professor Chinua Achebe. We all know that Professor Chinua Achebe, of course, wrote very great books. He wrote Things Fall Apart. He wrote No Longer at Ease. He wrote Arrow of God, right? After he had children, and the children started going to school. The books that they were using to teach his children, he found that those books had themes. Those disrespected African culture and insulted blacks. He was not happy about it. He said, after writing his great books, went into writing things like Chike and the River and how the leopard got his claws. Now he was pushed. It wasn't because he wanted to make money, so to speak here, but there was an idea. There was something so strong in him that pushed him into developing ideas, putting them in a book form so that he would solve a problem. So idea now that solves a problem. So you can see our first two speakers said, one said idea, one said you can solve a problem. So you can see how some of these things play out. So that was what he did. So if the idea you have is not very strong, the very first thing that comes to you, that challenges you, it could be finance. You have not been able to get the support you. Not everybody will support you at the very beginning because some are not even sure whether you want to do the business well or not. You will get support along the line after they have tested you, right? But if you leave the scene too soon, the business will die. I'd like us to move on to our next slide. Another thing you need to do is to do your research. You need to do your research before you start a business. I'm talking to those who are already in business and those who this advice is very key. You need to do your research. Now, if your business is a business that is for profit, then you should have a target market, right? That these are the people I'm going to serve. If it is not a business for profit, and I'm saying business because there are certain things you can set up, organizations you can set up that they are not targeted at making profit. So we talk about target beneficiary. For example, you set up an NGO. What that NGO is doing is you want to take care of all the northern girls in Nigeria who are now orphaned as a result of Boko Haram activities. Let me say that again. All girls in the northern Nigeria are now orphaned as a result of Boko Haram activities. You are saying you want to, through the NGO, support them to finish secondary school and go to the university. So you have a target beneficiary. If a girl is from the southern part of Nigeria, that is business. If you see a boy from northern Nigeria, you say, no, the people we want to work with, that we want to support are girls from northern Nigeria, and you must demonstrate that you are now an offer for you. So you need to define that so that you know who you are serving. You can't, everybody can't be your customer. You must know who those people are. When you know who your customer are, then you can now begin to tailor your products or what you serve to matter to them. I know you've heard of nomadic Fulanis, those who are pastoralists. What is it they do? When these will move from camp A to camp B. These nomadic education teachers move with them. Is that the usual education we have? No, the target beneficiary here moves. So you must design your structure in order to serve them in a manner that it will work. If you sit like we have our traditional classrooms, you don't have classrooms somewhere. By the time the Fulani moves to another town, and he'll be coming back the following year, all that you have taught in the 2 weeks or 3 weeks that he was camped there, or maybe a month, gone. So they move with them. When they move to another camp, they follow them with teaching. They move to another camp, they follow them with teaching, right? So how are you going to carry on? And 3, how are you going to serve them? We are talking about, are you going to be online based? And that's a very good question. These days, there are businesses that start and they end online. I want to ask a question, and I want somebody to answer me. I know some of you have made payment on Remitter, right? Can you all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you.
Yes.
Okay. You've made payment through Remitter. Have you ever seen a Remitter staff?
No.
Or somebody
No.
that I work for Remitter, that's where I work. I'm a gate man or I'm a security or whatever there, Remitter. But Remitter
No.
is registered. They are doing good business, right? So that other businesses that operate fully offline, right? For example, you say you are a gynecologist and that you help women to deliver. Is that something you can do online?
No.
You have to see, check the person's situation, maybe carry out tests in order to advise. Because it will also determine other things. This thing I want to do, mix the two. For example, in very many schools now, even secondary schools, they have online parts and offline parts. What do I mean by fees online? You can do registrations online. For some course, some exams can be taken online, but there are other places where they will need your physical presence. So that's combining the two modes. You need to determine that if you are going into such a business, do you have the capacity to put all of those resources in place to do okay with you later, or you have all of those things together? It's very important you have all of these things settled so that you don't do planning and implementation at the same time. If you do planning and implementation at the same time, chances are that you will make mistakes. And some of those mistakes may be irreversible. They may be very costly. You will have expended money and find out that, I shouldn't have done this. I've wasted money, wasted time, and I can't recover the money. Of course, that person will not tell you that he or she made a decision that is not business wise. Will tell you the business is poor. Is when you start x-raying, start checking what are the things you did that you should never have done. That's when you now find out that the person did things he or she should never have done. Important that you have a business plan, but I will not force you to go and have a business plan. Let me go back and say, am I contradicting myself? No, it is very important you have a business plan, but I will not force you to have a business plan. There are many businesses today that are doing well in Nigeria, in the world, that did not start with a business plan. But I'm not saying copy them. The right thing to do is have a business plan. But some people are able to manage it. They have a mental business plan. It's not written anywhere. It's about your strategy. So what is your business plan? Your business plan helps you. It's like a blueprint, right? Blueprint is what an architect produces when you want to build a house. Now, that blueprint will show you everywhere there will be a door, everywhere there will be a window, everywhere there will be a decking. Is it a single story? Is it 4 stories? Is it a bungalow? Will there be a car park? Will there be a gate? Will it be fenced or not fenced? It carries everything. So once you see all of that, You now know, okay, this is what we are going to do, but this is the thing that we can do now based on our resources. If you don't have the blueprint, there's every chance that you are likely going to make mistakes, spend monies where you shouldn't be spending money now. You can imagine somebody whose wife is just pregnant, 2 months pregnant, and he's making arrangement for the person who will come and do DJ when they are doing naming ceremony. So you can understand what I'm saying. Should that be what he should be doing now? No. He should think of buying clothes for his baby. He should find, before even buying clothes, you should try to determine through scanning, do we know the sex of the baby, so that it will now guide us to buy appropriate clothes, right? I know for very little babies, up to 6 weeks after birth, maybe 2 months, you can wear unisex. But it gets to a point where it is required that you begin to wear gender-specific dress. So there are things you do at certain stage. That's what a business plan would be. It's like a guide. It's a map that guides you, right? Like I said, if you don't have a business plan written down, you have it in your head, you can run with it. I don't advise it, but I can't also say you must, not on the basis of business plan. It's very good, very good. It helps you. But if you don't have it, don't worry yourself about what I want you to do. There is an app, the website, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is chat. The G is generative, P is pre-trained, T is transformer. It's a computer, right? The app. So I want you to go there. For those of you maybe who are into, maybe you have a school, maybe it's not, you are somebody who is into baking of cakes, all of those things, whatever the business is, just go there and say business plan for fashion designing or business plan for tailoring, business plan for this, and see what this machine will generate for you. You don't have to pay, it's free. So that's the assignment, and I would like to see responses or have responses on Wednesday when I have my next session. There's something I also wanted to say about doing your research, my head. I remember, I'm here in Lagos, I'm based in Lagos. One of my friends, she is from Kogi State, but at the time we're having a discussion, she was in Abuja. So here in Lagos, foodstuffs are costly. So she came up with a beautiful plan. And what was the plan? That she will buy foodstuffs from the north. It may not be in Lokoja or Abuja, wherever the food is cheap. For example, if you go to Benue State, you get different varieties of mangoes, right? That you don't find anywhere else, different varieties. So buy those things, bring to Lagos, relying on price differentials and sell. So that was what she wanted to do. Buy yam or buy whatever is cheap there, bring to Lagos. So when she shared the idea with me, and thank God she did, I told her, your idea is beautiful, but let me tell you what happens here in Lagos. In Lagos, they have a very strong union. When you bring your foodstuff to, if you're not part of them, you're not registered with. So you can imagine bringing a trailer load of foodstuff. You can't retail that. If it's perishable good, you brought tomato, you can't be selling at 500 naira, 200 naira, 700 naira. You want somebody who will take everything off you've made. They will now spread because they are in the market. They won't let you. You won't be able to sell it there. Corroborated what I said. He wrote an article about it, in fact, that was how he lost money. He bought, was it 2 bars of yam? Everything got spoiled. So that's how the thing is. Because you've not done your research, you go into business, and when you go into business, to have checked, these people, they don't allow these things to happen and all of that. About business plan and about strategy, I want to say is, I think it's funny. When I was about to get married, I had a strategy, right? Also, I want to point out why you should have a strategy when going to business. When I saw the talk to her, and we both agreed that, yes, I want to marry you. So the next stage was, of course, our pastor got to know, and then I went to see the family just for them to know me, my strategy. Eventually, I got married. But the issue now is my friends, my wife's younger sister, someone else wanted to get married to her. He had a different strategy. His strategy was he was buying bread, loaves of bread, and giving the mother. Never said anything. He never said, this is your daughter. I like your daughter. I want to marry her. Eventually, somebody else came, married the daughter under his nose. It was after the wedding that he was now telling Mama, this is your daughter. Oh, I liked her. But so that was when Mama was able to put two and two together, that the bread that he was bringing was not free bread, that it was what they say in Hausa, is it put in chiku or is it bread in chiku, they will say now. So that was what she was bringing, but he never said anything. So your strategy matters. We've talked about business, and it's important that you have your business. Why should you register your business? Why? You should register a business because when you do, you have become, or you will become, a legal entity or a separate legal entity. A legal entity in the case of a business name. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to. I've just been informed that I'm not getting through, so we want to change the source of my data. We'll get back shortly, please. Hello, I'm very sorry. I just got informed that I wasn't really getting across, that the network was bad. Can you all hear me, please? Please, you can unmute and let me hear. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
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 Yes, I
Oh,
can.
Yes, I can hear you.
sorry. We want to do better. I didn't know the network was not doing very well. Okay, so I was talking about why you should register your business. When you do, you become either a legal entity or a separate legal entity. What do we mean by that? When you register a business name is the same thing as you are. That's what they call a partnership or a sole proprietorship. That is what they call business name. Some people call it enterprise, but that's not the technical name. The right name is business name. Now, when you have a business name, you are a legal entity, right? But you are not separate. You are not separate because the business name and the owner of the business are the same. If, for example, a business name goes to collect loan from a bank, for example, and the business is not able to pay, the bank can come to the house of that sole proprietor, the owner of the business. When they come there, if they see his shoes, the soup, they will take it so that they will get their money back. But then if you do a limited liability company, you become a separate legal entity. You have the business itself is a separate legal entity. In law, it is called a juridical person or a juristic person. A juridical person is an unnatural person, but having all the rights that we humans have. A limited liability company can buy a land in its name. It can pay salaries. It can go to court. It can sue people. So it has every right that you have. Hello? 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 May I go ahead? I thought
yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay, it's all right.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, for business, you become a legal entity, but in a limited liability company, not only do you become a legal entity, you are also now separate. So if a limited liability company goes to the bank and collects loan, and the company is not able to pay, nobody will come to your house. Let me say that again. Nobody will come to your house because the entity that collected the loan is not you, the owner. It is the business that collected the loan. So the banks will go after the assets of the company, not you. So these are the differences so that you know. For business name, they will come after your personal things because you and the business are the same. For a limited liability company, which has a separate legal entity, they will go after the assets of the company. Now, the second reason why you should register your business is because you have a wider access to finance. If you have your business registered, it means that you have given certain details about yourself before even the registration, that you are not a fraud. You didn't just come up from nowhere. Somebody can lay claim to you. You can be traced somehow. You will not disappear into thin air after collecting money. Especially if you're a limited liability company, banks will answer you. Because the whole idea of giving finance is the person you are giving finance to. What if he collects, for example, he comes to collect 250 million? 2 days after, you hear that a car has knocked him down. God forbid. Will you go after him to collect your money? If it's a business name, you would think twice. This man has died. It means the money has gone. But if it's a limited liability company, a company has applied to you to collect you, you just go to the company. The company is still there. It's just somebody that died. The company did not die. So that's the thing. Another reason why you should have your business registered is because you can't open a corporate bank account in Nigeria without registration. For those of you already in business, if somebody wants to pay money into your corporate account, you know, if you have not gone to the bank after registration with the CC, there's nothing you can do. You can't open a corporate account until you have your business registered. Like the way I pay school fees for my children, you just send me the bank account and then I pay into it. And as I'm paying, I can clearly see that this bank account is the name of the school. So what that tells you is that the school has a corporate account and it says something about you. You say you are doing this business and you have given the name of the business. In fact, when you were quoting for the job, you wrote on a letterhead the name of the business, everything is there. When it's time to give me your account, you are bringing personal account. I'll look at you and say, you are not serious. Yes. How are you giving me something different? What you are giving me should be the name, of your business and the bank details of the business for me to go and pay. Another reason why you should register a business is because of continuity. When the business is registered, you have continuity assured. What do I mean by continuity? Of course, for a business name, once the owner dies, the business dies. Even for partnership, if a partner pulls out, right, It's assumed, it's taken legally that at that point, the partnership dies, is dissolved, so by a new one automatically starts. But for a limited liability company, just because a shareholder leaves, and you know people sell shares, just because you sold your maybe 1 million shares in the company does not mean the company is no longer in operation. The company will still go and operate. You are the one who was left. Someone else will come and take your position. Whether they take it or not, the company will continue to live in perpetuity. In 2018, I did a very small study on Nobel Prizes, Nobel Prize winners. Maybe you've heard about it. You know, there is this prize Professor Shoyinka won in 1986 in literature. That's why they call him Nobel Prize laureate. That prize is as a result of what one man did, Dr. Alfred Nobel. Dr. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite. You know dynamite, for those who are around these rocks where they blast stones and all of that. He invented dynamite, gelignite, and other things. As a result, he made monies, got huge sums of monies. Something happened. His younger brother traveled to France. While in France, eventually the unfortunate thing happened. He died. So the French newspaper who carried the obituary said that, mistakenly reported that it was Dr. Alfred Nobel that died, and went on to criticize him that this man actually was living on monies that he got from killing other people, because dynamite at that time was killing people faster than anything. Once it blows, people will die and all of that. So he didn't like that. That is what they will say when he's no more. So what he decided to do was, he said in his last will and testament that a substantial part of his estate, and at the time he died, it was $1.6 million, 1.6 million pounds, should be set aside to support the growth and advancement of science through a foundation. That was what he set aside. As of 2012, that money he set aside had grown to over $472 million, over $472 million as of 2012. And he did a foundation which is still in operation today because he registered it. So his wishes are still being carried out. Today, people who win Nobel Prizes, they earn around, they give them cash prize of around $1.1 million. So that's what your business does when you register it. It doesn't die with the person. It continues. You can have different people managing it. Even if your children are not qualified to manage it, you can bring people to manage, and then you just benefit from the profit. When you register a business, another thing you get is protection. If I have registered a business and I have a name, it means that nobody else can go and use the name. That name is mine. Nobody else can go and claim that he or she is me, right? It protects you. But if it is not registered, as far as the law is concerned, the name is open and is available to everyone. Then there is branding. When you do your branding, what are you branding? And this is my advice. You are branding your business name or your limited liability company name, and you're also branding a logo that you design. When you brand these two, it cannot be mistaken. You see many fake products out there, right? The number of times, you know, Nike, there is a sportswear, Nike, Nike, is a sports wear manufacturer. You see their mark on a certain product, but the Nike, instead of Nike, you now see Mike, Mikey. Of course, you know that that's a fake product. You know, they're just trying to copy someone else, right? So it's very important that you have your business registered. So we'd like to talk about sources of finance. I'd like to quickly go through them. There is private savings, there is friends and family members, we have trade credit, we have business angels and venture capitalists, we have the Bank of Industry, we have Bank of Agriculture, and DMBs. DMBs are deposit money banks, which is our traditional commercial banks. Please, this is my advice. Make these DMBs, commercial banks, your last option, not your first option when you're looking for finance. Because what they are going to charge you in interest. You can imagine somebody saying you should come and pay 35% interest on a loan of 1 million or 2 million, and you are going to repay in 1 year. Which business are you going to do to recover that money, pay the interest, and pay the loan, and then also survive? 1 million, you say 35% interest. I've not added management charges and all of that. So it should be your last option. It should be that you don't know. I've even forgotten that they will even ask for collateral that you didn't even have in the first place. So you start with your private savings. You can target, I don't know how many years you have for retirement or you want to save. You can save and say, in the next 2 years, I'm going to have this amount of money. Or let me be buying 1 or 2 things that I will need in my business. And in the next 2 years, I will have been at this point, and then I will start off. So private savings, you are not paying any interest. And the good thing with private saving is this is your money. You are not afraid. Nobody will come and tell you, pay me my money because your business has failed. God forbid the unthinkable happens. You put your money there and business goes bad. It's not anybody's money. You can start again. So private savings should be your number 1 source of finance. I know, of course, at the start of a business, you may want to start big. Why don't you start and grow, which is what I advise. Then we have friends and family members. You can get soft loans, support from friends and family members. Even this one too. In most cases, they won't ask you for interest. And they will give you, some will even say, anytime you have money, pay me back. Some may even say, okay, I'm giving it to you. I don't need the money now. I will need it in 3 years. I will need it in 2 years. I'll need it next year. So you know that you have this time to trade with it and then return the money. I recommend that too. Then there is trade credit. What is trade credit? Trade credit is where you are trading your integrity as a source or as your base to get finance. Let me explain. You go to a shop owner and say, sir, I can see that you have 200 crates of Coca-Cola. I want to start selling Coca-Cola. I have a refrigerator and I also have a generator to power the refrigerator, but I don't have money to buy the Coca-Cola. Give me 10 crates. When I finish selling at the end of the week, I'll pay you back your money and keep the profits. The only reason that man will not give you or that woman will not give you is if you have integrity deficits. If you cannot be trusted, maybe you have done something with him or her before and you failed. If not for that, this is a very good proposition. The crates are lying there. Nobody has come to buy them. But there's this one saying, I want to go and sell. And by the end of the week, I'll bring the money. It's even better for me, right? So why shouldn't I release? So you release and then hope that at the end of the week, the person will buy. And the good thing is, if you stay on trade credit for some time, you'll be able to now build up your own capital and even stay off it. Then we have business angels and venture capitalists. For business angels, they come to support you with money, right? And their aim is just majorly, they want to support you not because they want to take over your business. They are supporting you to get a return on their investment, ROI, right? That's why they are doing what they're doing. So I recommend it as compared to venture capitalists. Venture capitalists will want to be a part of the business. And that's where I have an issue, a little issue with it, generally. Yes, they are supporting you with money, but they are saying, no, I want to be a shareholder. I want to be a director. And the fear is this person who is giving you money has more money than you. What's the guarantee that he will not take over your business tomorrow? Give me money and I'll pay you back. I prefer that to bringing in these people, and God forbid, if they have ulterior motive, you may not even know. They come in, see your business, and before you know it. So what I'm saying is be careful when you go into such agreements with them. Then we also have Bank of Industry. For Bank of Industry, there are things that they support. They support value addition activities. Yes, value addition activities are the things they support. If you go to the Bank of Industry, as we have in 30 locations across the country, they will support you to do things that will create or add value, not primary activities. What I mean by primary activities is you want to grow ginger, so you need money to buy a plot of land and go. They will not support you. But if you want to process, for example, ginger into one finished product, maybe for export, you can approach them. Of course, that will be in the realm of Bank of Agriculture, so to speak. So Bank of Industry, and if you need loan in the range of less than 10 million naira, I advise that you go with a business name. But if you need over 10 million, from 10 million and above, they won't even answer if you come with a business name. Because if you go with a business name under 10 million, you won't pay legal fees, right? But if you go with a limited liability company, you pay them legal fees. So these are things you try and avoid. Bank of Agriculture, as it sounds, they support agro-allied ventures. If you are into agro-allied venture, so they support you and provide finance. Of course, it's not free, at a very reduced interest rate. And then lastly, we have the DMBs, the deposit money banks, which is the commercial banks. This one has to do with your negotiation with them. Of course, they have their minimum, but it has to do with your negotiation, your capacity to negotiate. What have you agreed? What are the terms? The more money you have, the better for you when you approach these banks. The rate they will give Aliko Dangote is not the rate they will give you. They will give him very small rates and ask him to pay within a very long time. Why? They know he's a high net individual. They also know he has assets scattered. They know their funds are secure. But for you and I, they are not sure. That's why they want to collect the money they're giving you back very fast, one, and they now put very high interest. That even if you are not able to pay back everything, but by the time they collect just a part of it, they have gotten their money back. So that's the fear. And that's where a number of people get stuck. It would have been the best option, right? But the rates and their terms, honestly, you bring collateral, you pay this, you pay that. I'm not discouraging you, but like I said, it should not be your first option. It should be your last option after considering everything. If you don't know what else or where else to go, then that's where you go to them. So the business you're talking about, what legal form should it take? Or what legal structure should it take? We have businesses that are for profit and we have businesses that are not for profit. So we'll take them on that basis. So those that are for profit, basically we have business name, and then we have limited liability company, we have private, and then we have public, right? For a business name, like I said, is a one-man business or a partnership. Right? It's a very basic level of businesses, and very many businesses in Nigeria, very many are business names, very many. All of those POSs you see that were forced to register, most of them, I think up to 99 or 98% of them are business names. Very many businesses you see are business names. Maybe you've heard of the big four, the accounting firms, Deloitte and Touche, KPMG, PwC, and the last one. There are four. All of these ones, they are business names. There are certain businesses that are restricted that they must operate as business names. You cannot be a limited liability company. And there are others that you must operate as a limited liability company. An example is a BDC. A BDC is a bureau de change, where you can buy and sell dollar, exchange dollar, and all of that, right? A BDC can never be a business name. It must be a limited liability company. And your share capital must not be less than, they just came up with it, your share capital must not be less than 200 million shares. So you can imagine. So we have for those that are not for profit, we have NGOs that are not for profit, we have foundations, not for profit, we have associations, not for profit, we have clubs, not for profit, we have churches, we have mosques. All of these ones are not for profit. So what is the first thing you do? You do a name search. At the end of every business name, you cannot have limited. You cannot have limited, because it's a business name. You just open. You can do ABC Enterprises. That's a business name. But when it comes to a limited, you must say ABC. If it's a private limited liability company, you say ABC Limited, right? Limited, private. If it's a public, that limited changes to PLC. Then we have incorporated trustee, like the NGOs I talked about. So that one will not carry limited, it will not carry PLC, it will not carry ventures. There is a way we couch it. And for those of you who are interested, after this training on Wednesday, I'll handhold you, take you, and then we'll guide you. For churches, you know how maybe it may end with ministries, it may end with foundation, it may end with organization. It depends. It may end with club or association. It depends. So what are the things you need once a name has been approved, whether for business name or limited liability company, or whether the name has been approved for you to do an incorporated trustee? You need valid ID cards. What CAC calls a valid ID card is an ID card that has not expired. Not every ID card expires. Your international passport expires, your driver's license expires, right? But your voter's card does not expire. So for those ID cards that expire, we ensure that only those that are still in service, let me use that expression, are the ones you do. We need email and residential addresses, your phone numbers, signature samples, passport size photos, business address and email. Your objects represent the things that you are supposed to be doing in the business. All of those things that you're supposed to be doing, they are called your objects, right? And then for certain businesses, they will require proficiency certificates. For example, if you want to go into real estate, they will require that you have a proficiency certificate in that area, maybe as an estate management graduate, or you have something to back you that, yes, this is what you do. If you want to open an accounting firm, for example, and you are not an accountant, nobody will open it. Nobody will register that for you. You want to open a law firm, which is a business name, and you're not a lawyer, nobody will register that for you, right? And then you also determine for the limited liability companies what the shareholding structure will be or is. By that, I mean whether they're going to give this amount of shares to this person, or they're going to give this amount of shares to that person. You need to also determine all of that. Okay, sorry. So after a registration, there are other things you need to take care of. There is TIN, right? TIN is taxpayer identification number. Without it, you can't go to the bank and open a bank account without it. Then there is trademarking that I talked about. You need to trademark the name of the entity and then the logo. And there is this one from the EFCC, which is Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering. It's not for all businesses, right? But for certain businesses that they require that you have this. For maybe if you're into jewelry, you're into mining, so they will require that you have this certificate. It is free. SCOML is free. TIN is free, but trademarking is not free. Then there is this one for those who are doing export, Export Promotion Council. Nigeria Export Promotion Council. There's a certificate. It's not free. You pay for it. Then there is TCC. TCC is your taxpayer tax clearance certificate. You get it for a limited liability company. Now, for a limited liability company that has been registered 6 months after, that's the window you have. Within the first 6 months, you are supposed to go and apply for this and get it. If you do it within that window, it is free. But if you wait until after that window, you pay them for coming late. So these are some of those things that I felt we needed to share. Not very long talk, share, and then through some of these things, you save money, you start well. There will be another session tomorrow, and then my third session, which will be on Wednesday this week, on the 20th. Thank you for listening. I would like to take your questions now. You can unmute, and if you have questions, please, let's have them.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead, please.
This is Elsie. Here in Akwa Ibom. Thank you very much for the very enlightening session.
Thank you.
We've had a lot to learn today, starting from the questions you posed for us before you went into the details of your session. You mentioned something right down on the other details, KYC details, and you talked about objects. I didn't quite get it. What do you mean by objects? I think that's the question I have for now.
Okay.
Object.
Okay, sorry. Can you go over your question one more time?
All right, it's just a straight question on the KYC details.
Yes.
You mentioned something like objects, and you said it's what you have or what you're doing. I didn't quite understand.
Okay. Well, it's a good question you've asked. Objects represent all of those things that the business will be doing, right? Let me give you an example. Yes.
Okay.
If you set up a business and call it your LC, you say LC's Fashion House, right?
Okay.
So your object now represents all of those fashion things that you do. It's possible that for you, your LC's Fashion House, you will not have a spa, right? You will not have beauty treatment. That what you will be doing in the fashion will be something else. Maybe you do custom-made dresses, not ones that you take to shelf, but people come and say, this is what I want. So this special dress for me. I'm attending a graduation and I want to have a dress that will be a talk of the town. And that's what you do. So you state exactly what you say you will be doing, what you have expertise for, right? So those are the things we call objects. Now, it is your object that will determine, for example, if you are a limited liability company, whether the number of shares that you want to use to incorporate or register the business is enough. For example, if I'm registering a limited liability company and I put that we want to be we will engage in buying and trading in dollars or foreign currency, that is BDC. What the CAC will do is, this is 200 million shares. And if the number of shares I want to incorporate is not up to 200 million, it's gone. They won't even answer you. Do you understand? So objects are the things that you intend to do in the business. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So please, who else has a question?
Okay. Can I see add?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, non-for-profit and you establish for profit. When yours is non-for-profit, how and like you said, for instance, you gave us an example of for your NGO, maybe caring for girls orphaned by Boko Haram, that you use as an example. How do I make it, in an NGO, and then how do I survive if I don't make profit?
Very good question. Very good question. So when you set up an NGO or a business that is not for profit, at the beginning, you will need to tell us how you will generate your source, how you have a source of funds that will support the business. So this is what happens usually. At the time that you are registering the business, you already have members, people who support you, have the same idea that you have. So you put what? Goodwill donation. Goodwill donation is a source of fund. You put monthly levies or monthly dues. That's a source of fund. Do you understand? If you have, for example, 50 members, and you say, hello?
Gifts.
Hello? Yes,
you can add gifts. Okay.
You can have gifts. Do you understand? From people. And in fact, in Nigeria today, there are NGOs that are heavily funded by outside NGOs, foundations in the US and the UK. They send the money. They can't come here and do what you are doing. But because what you are doing supports what they are doing, they will send in money for you to do it. So that's the point.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I think, someone is asking for a recorded version of this.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Please go ahead.
Okay, my name is Mary Yakubu.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I joined in a little late, but when I tuned in, you were talking about how to get funding and all that. I didn't start from the beginning, but it was really interesting and very to me. Thank you so much for your effort.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
my question is, let's say, for instance, you've been in a business for a while and you're a limited liability company, and then you'd require funding to maybe buy equipment, to continue your work. And you said the last places we should go
Yes.
is the DMOs, DMBs, and
DMB.
then
DMB. Yes.
talked about the Bank of Industry. Like
Yes.
for we in business, and we have some of these certifications that you talked about. How do you
Yes.
start the process of getting funding? And if you need as much as 100 million, I don't know, how is it possible, or what is the criteria you have to, or what will make you eligible to be able to get that kind of funding? And then in BOI, how do you pay back that kind of loan? As in, what's the procedure
Hello?
to start and how you go about it?
Your network.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes. I think I can make out the form of your question. Yes. I didn't hear everything, but I think I get the gist of your question. So if you let me just respond, or maybe you want to go over it. It's fine.
Okay. If I'm just asking, for BOI, how do you get funding? How do you start the process? And then what's the modalities for repayment and all? I say you need.
So the thing is this: when it comes to, it's breaking.
Oh, it's breaking on my side.
Hello?
But I can hear you loud and clear. You can
Hello,
go
Mariam?
on. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So let me just address it. Okay. Let me address it. I hope that what I'm going to say will be of value and address it. So the thing is this: when it comes to loan application, right? It's just like going into a shop. When you go into a shop, there are different products in the shop. It depends on what you want to buy, right? And the cost of those things will not be the same. Like I just said something, that if you're applying for anything less than 10 million BOI, I said it's better you go with a business name. When you go with a business name, you will not be asked to pay legal fees because they know this is a business name. But when you go with a limited liability company, right, you will pay legal fee. Of course, they are doing around, I think, 9%. Now, some of these things are at the end of the day subject to negotiation. Right? Yes. Sir. So I can't sit here and tell you that this and this and this is the case. It's more like on a case-by-case basis. But what I have been able to do is, these opportunities are available. Try and harness them. Try and check out. And you need to physically go to the office in your state. I'm not sure. Are you in Kaduna or is it Kano?
No, I'm in Abuja.
Okay, so that's the head office should be there. You need to go there. Maybe they have a zonal office. Go there, and now that you know, I've heard this. So what do I require? The first thing is for you to be registered. If you are not registered with the CAC, forget it. Nobody will even answer you. It means you don't.
Actually registered.
Yes. Okay.
I'm actually registered, and I have some of the certifications that you mentioned.
Okay.
Yes, I have my TCC. I have my my TIN. I have. Yes, I have.
And you have a corporate account.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that's fine. And this is what I advise you. I don't know what loan you are looking for, because whoever you are doing loan packaging for, they also have people like me there that will look at it. So the idea is, some people go to collect loan. After collecting the loan, they do something else with the money. So they will also analyze what you are bringing. Do you understand? So you must present a very strong application. Back it up. You need to have your cash flow projections. Yes, these monies I'm going to collect, I believe that in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply to do this, and this is how it's going to better my business. When you bring all of those things, they check, then you stand a better chance, because they don't also want to throw away money.
Of
Hello?
course. Yes, sir.
Yes. So I
Yes.
know if you check our societies, you see there are some people that, this person is suffering. You want to give
Yes.
out monies, but would you knowingly give money to a person who is a drunkard to go and drink? No, you will not give him money,
No.
because you know he will take the
Yes.
money to go and drink. That's the way business are too.
Yes.
If they know that this business is not, this man is lying, these people, they don't look sincere. They won't tell you on the application that your application is not sincere. They will just deny it, but they have their
Yes.
reasons. Do you understand? So it's about you putting everything together, getting your act together. And that's what will be able to help to put some of those things together. But going there to the office, I advise that you go there, because if you engage somebody, what we are doing through this seminar, this 3 days, is for you to cut costs and get what you want. By the time you engage somebody, it's not going to be free. The person won't do it and you tell him, thank God, God bless you. No, he was going to charge you, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
that's what we are trying to do. That some of these things, it's just that you did not know. Now that you know, go to their front desk. Yes, you waste some time today, tomorrow. They will tell you, listen, write, take notes, get a phone number if it's WhatsApp. Yes, I've done this, I've done this. What is the next stage? Let's see how far you've gone. So that's the point. And your question is a very key question, because a number of businesses are at the point where they just need something to push up, to scale up, and the finances are not there. If only you can get that 2 million, that 5 million, you should be somewhere. So your ability to convince the loan officer matters. So you don't have collateral, but is there something you can go for? There are different other sources. If it is cooperative that works for you, why not? Because you can also get finances from cooperatives that you belong to. Yes, I know they may do 10% and they may give you 100% of whatever you have contributed. If you have 2.5 million, you need 5 million, and they give you at 10%, they give you now 5 million at 10%. Is it not better than bank that is saying bring 35%?
That's right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So all we are trying to do is look at opportunity. Hello?
Yes. I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so that's that. We want to look out for opportunities that will help reduce cost. And once your cost is reduced, whatever service you are rendering, you can either make more profit or render it at lesser prices and have more sales. That's the point.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. More questions, please.
Yes.
We have overshot our time, but it's fine. I'll take your question.
The name of the app. Somebody sent a chat that you should tell us the name of the app, because we couldn't hear well. App for business plan.
Okay.
Business plan.
Okay, chat. You know chat. C-H-A-T. Chat.
Okay.
C-H-A-T. Then GPT. GPT is P for pastor.
All right.
GPT, generative pre-trained transformer. So just go, in fact, so that you don't forget, maybe after this session, do it, and you will be amazed. I'm telling you, there are certain questions you know ask other people, because it's there. Just put it there. The world has gone so far. I just want you to see this. Just do it, and on Wednesday we'll have a discussion. Thank you. More questions, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, I'm blessing.
Okay,
Thanks,
please go ahead.
I joined a little bit late because I was not having it easy to connect. My question is,
problem.
I was surprised to hear you call PwC and KPMG limited companies to just business names. So my question is, what limits a company to registering, whether just as a business name or a limited liability company? What limits a company to such registrations? Like for me, I'm into sales of kitchen and household utensils. though I've done some
Yes.
trainings on export and importing, which I'll go into as the business progress. But if I want to register now
Yes.
as for buying and selling, am I to register as a business name or a limited liability company because of the benefits you mentioned concerning the limited
Mentioned.
companies? So I don't know which to go for, whether for a business name or for a limited liability company. So my question is in two folds. What limits a company to whether a business name or limited liability company? And for my own kind of business, should I go for a business name or for a limited liability company?
Okay, very good question. What you've just done is you've thrown up something I'm going to also talk about. It's reserved for the Wednesday talk, but let me just talk about it. Now, you mentioned PwC, KPMG, for those of you who know Deloitte and all of that. It's the requirement of the law. It's not that they don't have the money. In fact, as business names, they're even bigger than many limited liability companies. But the law says that if you're an accountant, hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I see.
Okay. The law says if you're an accounting firm, auditing firm, you cannot be a limited liability company. You must be a business name. So that's why.
Oh,
Yes. So it's a legal restriction. It's not their choice. You will never hear PwC Limited or Deloitte and Touche Limited or any accounting firm. You have Bio, Ojo and Co. You will never hear Limited. That's how it is. Even a law firm. Every law firm you hear is also a business name. Do you understand? Okay,
yes.
so let's go ahead. The question you asked, for your specific situation, unless there is a specific demand, I will advise you stick with your business name. If what you have in your business name is not covered by what you want to now do, you can do what they call addition of objects. That is addition of the things that you do in the business, if the space allows it. Business name carries on the face of the certificate all that you want to do. That's one of the limitations, right? When I incorporate businesses, I think for you, if you tell me that you want to go into pure water business, I won't stop at pure water. I'll also think of juice production. I'll think of all of those things that are around that family of business and add even things that you were not even thinking of. So my idea is if tomorrow you now have finances and you want to move to a new area of business, you shouldn't go and incorporate another one. This one should be able to do it. For business name, because everything has to be on the face of the certificate, in fact, they count the words, so it's limited. But for a limited liability company, you can put in the whole world into it and it will enter. So that's the key and very unique advantage it has. So what's the difference between a business name and a limited liability company? A business name does not have shares. What is a share? A share is a unit of ownership. A unit of ownership. A business name has a partner. If it's a partnership has partners or a partners, and then it also has a sole proprietor. If it goes beyond one person, we're talking about partnership. If it is just one person, we're talking about sole proprietor. That's a business name. For a limited liability company, you have shareholders. Like I said, share means unit of ownership. That's why you find that in a company, there are those people who are majority shareholders. You find maybe somebody has up to 62% of the shares. It means that that person has the final say. Even if you have 400 million people out there who make up the other 40%, whatever this one person says, who has 62%, even if they gather and say no to it, it will not work because it has higher shares than them. So it's basically there for decision making so that you don't get to a point where you are not able to reach a decision. You have somebody that will always take a decision and others will listen to. Now, the thing I said your question threw up was, is it possible for you to move from a business name to a limited liability company? The answer is yes. It's called upgrade. You can do upgrade of a business name to a limited liability company. The first thing to do is you clear all the annual returns that are falling due. It's just like you belong to a tribal association, right? And then you take in, give birth, and the people are checking. This our sister, has she been paying the annual dues? Sorry, the monthly dues. If you have not been paying, that association may not bring gifts on the naming day. That is what CAC does. When you, after registration, go to CAC and say you want to make change, you want to do this, they will check. Have you paid our annual returns? If you have not paid, they won't answer you. They'll say, go and clear all annual returns first. It's after clearing those annual returns that you can now come and they will listen to you. So you clear all annual returns, then you apply for Registrar General's consent that you are moving your business name, which was, for example, ABC Enterprises. You want it to become ABC Enterprises Limited. So you apply, right, on the letterhead of the business. The business is applying to Registrar General, you pay money, then they will approve it. Then you now register it as a limited liability company. That business name no longer exists. What now exists is ABC Enterprises Limited. So like I said, it is very possible. So what you will gain is, you gain the goodwill. It's not a new business. It's the same business that has moved. It used to be a boy, it's now a man. It used to be a girl, it's now a woman. So you can clearly see, instead of doing a fresh one, and people are asking, and when did you start this? Do you have experience? You can clearly see that this is the same business. Even on the certificate, it will be written that is an upgrade, it moved from this to this. If you do share increase, the same thing. I hope I've answered you.
Yes, sir. And one more
Okay.
question, please. How will
Go
I
ahead.
calculate the annual returns for the company?
Okay, so for annual returns, you said company. I believe you were referring to business name. Okay, let me go ahead. I'll address it too.
It's
For business name, okay, for business name, you have 1st of January of every year to 30th June to file it. If you don't file within that window, they will charge you late filing penalty. For business name, it is fixed. Annual returns for business name, money that goes to CAC is 5,000 naira. Sorry, 3,000 naira is the penalty that is 5,000. You paid 3,000 naira to CAC minus remitter charges. The remitter charges are not included because if you go to pay, remitter will charge you, right? So you can just say 3,005, right? But if you don't pay within that window, you will have to pay 5,000 naira extra. And then if you are filing it through a professional, the professional will also charge you, because for you to do what you are talking about is called post incorporation. It's not what you do before a registration, it's what you do after registration. So there is a special account that you will have for you to be able to do it. As someone who has just registered, you don't have that access. So you need to now go back to an accredited agent. I am an accredited agent, and that's the service I say that I'm going to offer. For those who need to file annual returns, after the 3rd day, after Wednesday, I will be available. You are not paying me anything. We'll only pay the monies that will go to CAC and we'll do it. Monies that should come to me, I'm saying I'm waiving. But let's do this, have more people come into business, encourage them, support them. You are not too old. That's the idea. One of the things I wanted to share, but at the time we started, we had technical hitch. So let me just say it now. The feeling for some people is I'm old, I'm old, I'm old. You are not. You have experience that the young person does not have. Do not make that mistake because of your age, because of what you have seen. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
It's now back. It was
Yes,
gone. Your voice was gone. It's back.
Oh, sorry. Someone was making a call. Sorry. So what I was saying was, for those who feel that because of age, there's no need starting a business, I'm saying no. That age, the experience you have is required for that business. There are things you will not do that young people will do, mistakes in businesses. You know how to talk to people and talk to customers that they will come back tomorrow. You will not be doing a shebi like young people, because who do you want to impress? You will know that there are certain business decisions you take, not based on impulse or emotions. Yes, and that's what you have, which is key, which the young person does not have. Yes, what does the young person have? The young person has energy. It has strength to move around. So at any time you start a business, I'm telling you, you have an advantage. You are not at a disadvantage. If you think you are at the point of retirement, what is it? You have an advantage, you have experience. You know how to keep records. You know how to, even in the office, you have learned to now coordinate things. You can supervise because of your experience there, which the young person may not have. So that's my point. Can I get more questions? Hello? Hello? Can you all hear me?
Yeah. So which place now is the NGO? Which place now is the NGO? Is it or a cooperative society? Let me use the two because some say a cooperative society.
They are close.
Okay. So
no, a cooperative society is not an NGO. A cooperative society makes profit.
Okay.
Do you know? They make profits and they share the profit at the end of the day. They buy things at the reduced amount and sell to their members and share profit. They give loans. NGOs do not make profits.
Do they need this tax clearance certificate?
Yes.
Oh.
So let me explain to you why they do. NGOs don't make profit, but money is coming. They need to give account of that money, how they have spent it. Yes, because there are people who have set up NGOs now, and the monies that have come in, the money is supposed to go and support, for example, maybe albinos in Nigeria, maybe in one state. That's why the NGO was set up. White men heard it and said, oh, this is a great thing you are doing. They sent in $2 million, and the man is building his house with the money that is supposed to be used to support albinos. Now, if there is no account, there is no way for you to know where I use the money for, right? So when you are meeting with these people, the people that will give you support or funds, they will ask for all of those things. Let's see your accounts. Let's see these records. That's where it's required. But like I said, an NGO does not make profit. A foundation does not make profit. It supports with they go and source funds either within themselves or they meet with other people and then they support. They don't make profit.
They don't need tax clearance certificate like others.
Tax clearance certificates. I just told you that for those who are giving them monies, if I am giving you money, for example,
you need to.
Yes, I want to see how you spent what you've done, right? Yes, you are not making profit, but they pay other dues. If they have a house that they are renting, won't they pay rent? If they have people who work for them, at the end of the day, you are going to have expenditure. Hello?
Yes, on emolument.
Yes. So you take out all of those things. So if there are things that you have done that are taxable, you should pay. Because some people hide under NGOs and do so many things. Yes. Under NGOs, they do so many things and we're not happy about it.
Right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, let's just take one more question and I think we should go and rest for today. Who is our last questioner? Let me put it that way.
Okay. I don't know if another person is not coming.
I want to ask a question.
Okay. All right. Take my turn. I wanted to do that separation on this tax clearance with NGO and cooperative. Cooperative, do they pay tax?
Of course. Of course. Did you hear what I said?
Yes, of course.
Cooperatives, they make profits.
Okay.
Do you know? They make profits. So once you make profits, you should be charged. Do you know at one time they were saying churches should come and pay tax? A church is under the umbrella of an NGO. It's called an incorporated trustee. So it's for you now to approach the taxman and tell him, this we are doing, we are not making profit. Do you understand? It's not as if they will not ask for those things. So if you feel that this thing you are doing, you are not making, go and defend it. Because like I said, people hide under NGOs and do so many things. Is a school a profit-making venture where they pay school fees? The answer is yes. So if you have a church, for example, that has set up a school, did not register the school specially as a school, they just set up a church, all of a sudden, they are now using one place as school. They collect school fees and pay teachers. Should they pay tax for that school?
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm saying now? So that's why it's up to you to go and defend it. It may not be the case with other people. That's the point I'm making. There are actually places where some of these things are to support very poor people. They are to support those who have lost their parents. They are to support highly intelligent young boys and young girls who would not have gone to school without support. Yes, but not all. Some people abuse them. So we need to also be careful.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello. Good day,
Please
sir.
go ahead. Good day.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is an insightful session, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
My question is, I've been into business for quite some times now, and I have two business registration. I have the business
Okay.
name, I have the public reliability. And now I would like to upgrade to public reliability. So my fear is that I don't know if it's going to cost me because I've not been paying tax.
Yes.
And I don't know what I should do about it or how I should go about trading to the public reliability, because I want to add more
Other things. Yes.
budget here to my business.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you,
so
sir.
no problem. What you want to do is very possible.
Okay,
Very
sir.
possible. I'm not saying it's very possible theoretically. I have done it again and again. Again and
Yes,
again. It's not usually you get them because people don't do upgrades usually. But once in a while, you find them. For example, the CAC has come out and said every school, whether a creche, primary, nursery, or secondary school, must be a limited liability company. That's what they've said. So very recently, I did an upgrade from a business name to a limited liability company. Right?
Yes, sir.
So it can be done. The other question you were asking was whether the money will be huge. When was the business name registered?
Well, 2000 and hello, sir. 2015.
Yeah. 2015.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if it's 2015, you start paying from 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You are paying for 8 years. Now,
Yes,
this
sir.
is it. Guaranteed, if you had met me outside this platform, what we are doing here, you pay CAC what you owe them and pay the late filing penalty. And then you pay my fee.
Yes, sir. I know that.
Because you are here, you are only going to pay what you owe CAC. That's all. The part coming to me, you are not paying anything.
Thank you, sir.
Do you understand? Yes, there is a reduction, but you are going to pay. It's not free. You are going to pay.
Okay.
So I just hope that once we are done from the third day, we'll start off for those who are ready. We'll do it.
Okay.
Deliver. I just have the time and I feel I want to support women especially. Women especially. Because it wasn't easy what my mom did for all of us. She is no more now, and it's an opportunity with what I have, the knowledge I have, to use to help others.
Yeah, thank you. God bless you, sir.
Amen.
We are very grateful, sir.
You're welcome.
You know, business environment, business in Nigeria is not favorable. It's tough.
I understand. I understand.
Thank you very much for being a he for she.
Yes.
Thank you. So,
okay, Mr. Henry, maybe I don't know, it's not the last one actually, but if if somebody registered a business or company, and then after registering, you are not doing anything, the registration is there, and for the years, you've not done anything with it.
Yes.
If you want to now activate and do something, will you also need to pay these annual returns?
Good question. The answer is yes.
No bank account, no nothing. You didn't open any account.
So let me tell you, what you will not pay is tax. Tax is a charge on profit. Do you understand?
Yes.
You will not pay tax, but you pay annual returns. Once you are registered with the CAC,
okay,
they don't care whether the certificate has been in your bag all these years or whether it was stolen or whatever. You will pay the annual returns, whether you do business or not. That's the straightforward answer.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. I would like to also encourage you that for those of you who have questions, and I know there is a WhatsApp group that has been created, you can put the question there and we'll answer you so that we release people to go and do other things. We said 1 hour, this is well over 1 hour, so that's we'd love to see you tomorrow. My friend, Dr. Charles Irong-Maseli, will be taking the session tomorrow, and I will come back on Wednesday. We'll round off and then we'll start the free offer of services that I've talked about.
We appreciate.
You're welcome. Dr. Charles, do you want to say something? Please go ahead.
All right. We just appreciate everyone that has been able to be part of this amazing section. Remember, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. So everything you've heard is designed for you to be able to implement. Yes, you're going to get all these offers that are coming in, but I want to advise you from the things you've written, questions you've asked. There's a WhatsApp group now which offers you more business advisory support and all that. So please, you want to do your best to ensure that you internalize this information. Tomorrow, you're going to get more information that has to tie around the practical aspect now of running your business, customer attraction, how to enjoy some of the benefits in terms of operations, management, and all the things that people are taking advantage of that you may not just be aware of. So you don't want to miss tomorrow. So we'll give that information more on the group. We're also going to be dropping the WhatsApp group, link on the Zoom chat now, so that for everybody that wants to get on that link, please click on the link and then just join, so that in case you want to reach us directly or you have more questions, even after this meeting, we can answer. So while Mr. Henry is just trying to wrap up, I'll drop the link on the chat room so that everybody can just join. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Charles Irong-Maseli. It's nice having you join me in this 3-day session. We thank all of you, especially those who were patient. Have been patient, but you joined in and couldn't start what we said we should start. We would start. We had a technical issue, but we were able to resolve it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We look forward to seeing you same time tomorrow. Thank you, and please don't forget the assignment. Bye-bye.